My name is Corey, and I'm an addict. Today we're talking about step 3. We did 1 and 2. Hope you guys liked that video. I get my material from the NA book. So step 3, I'm going to read what it says. It says, we made a decision to turn our life over, turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. We're going to give us a moment of silence to the addict that still smokes. And those who didn't wake up this morning. So, decisions. We make decisions every day of our life. Some are good, some are bad. So, and when you make a decision, you got to stick to it. You got to put your whole 2 feet into it. In order to live a better life, we need God in our life, no matter what. That's the truth. That's the bottom line. It doesn't matter if you're religious, spiritual, whatever the case may be, you need God. Being an addict, I lived to get high. It was my main focus. By any means necessary, no matter what. It took me to all kinds of places, all walks of life. I encountered good and bad people. That's what's going to happen when you're on drugs. You're going to be all over the place. You're going to encounter all kinds of people, all types of walk of life. And who's to say you might encounter a cop undercover, bust your ass, and then what happened? You're going to turn state's evidence, you're going to snitch, you're going to do whatever it takes to get out of jail. That's what happens these days. The hardest person is snitching. Trying to turn state's evidence, trying to give up the information, do all this other crazy shit, all because of drugs. I know it was bad when I wasn't eating, not sleeping for days, not showering for days, same clothes, same socks, my breath smelled like shit. I was going crazy, no one wanted to be around me, I was talking to myself, hearing things, paranoid. That's what happens when you're on drugs, hard drugs. Even marijuana make you trip out. Paranoia, all kinds of shit. But who's to say? It might not happen to you. It may happen to your friend. Don't think you're good because you're high. You're not good. It's gonna fuck your life up. It may not fuck it up right then and there, but at the end, your shit's gonna be fucked up. You might not want to hear it. You might not listen to someone that's telling you, but your shit's gonna be fucked up and you're gonna be out there. Don't let your friends lead you down the wrong path, influence you to do shit that you don't want to do. Because they good at that shit. Your friends will tell you some shit that'll have you thinking, it'll sound good, but it's a lie. They want to see you act dumb, go through some shit. They're going to make you do some shit you don't want to do, and they ain't going to do it. That's your friends for you. They want to see, they want to put you on video and camera and have you doing all kinds of weird out shit so they can use that shit against you. Say you fucking try to blackmail you. Remember you did this, we're going to show the police this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. Man, don't let that shit happen. Your friends will lie to you before they tell you the truth. A lot of accidents happen. A lot of accidents happen when you're high. You'll do some shit that you can't come back from. You might not recover from it. And you out there by yourself now, smoked out the game, looking stupid. This is the ugly side of using drugs. You got your good side of using drugs, and you got your bad side of using drugs. This is the ugly side. The shit no one wants to tell you about. The shit that their program didn't tell you about. The shit your family ain't gonna tell you about. Definitely ain't your friends gonna tell you about. This is the ugly side of drugs. The ugly side of drugs is you're gonna be homeless. They don't tell you that. The ugly side of drugs is they ain't gonna tell you that you ain't gonna be taking showers. They ain't gonna tell you you're gonna be hearing voices. They ain't gonna tell you that you're gonna be seeing shit that ain't there. You're gonna be hearing shit that ain't there. They ain't gonna tell you that shit. But what they will do is give you money so you can go and get another sack. And that's what they do. They ain't gonna tell you that you're gonna be fucked up, that your family's gonna leave you, your friends are gonna leave you, you're gonna be living in a tent, you're gonna be at Paris Hill Park, you're gonna be in the wash. That's the ugly side of drugs. That's the shit no one wants to talk about. But I'm here to tell you today, that's what's gonna happen. I know because I've been through it. I've been homeless. I've been not taking showers. I've been hearing shit. I've been paranoid. I've been all these things that no one told me about. I had to figure it out on my own. That's a God honest truth. They ain't gonna tell you that. A rapper ain't gonna tell you that. A movie star ain't gonna tell you that. They ain't gonna tell you shit. They gonna let you figure it out yourself. We already figured it out. Already been through all that shit. And the devil, he right there, hoping you kill yourself so he can take your soul. They ain't gonna tell you that part neither, because nobody wants to get religious no more. They don't want to talk about God and the devil. But that's what happens. You're so fucked up that you want to kill yourself. And they ain't gonna tell you that if you die in your sins, you're gonna go to hell. Ain't no one gonna tell you that shit, but I'm gonna tell you. If you die in your sins, you're probably gonna go to hell. I'm not saying that for sure, but you're probably gonna go to hell. The ugly side of drugs. That's what this shit is. The ugly side. Not the glamorous part where you just go, get a sack, get high, party with your friends. That's the beginning parts of drugs. But you know what? I'm here to tell you. Don't do it. Put down the drugs while you can. While you still got your family. While you still got your friends. Go get a job. Get back in school. And if you're an addict, stay in AA, NA, and CA. That's the truth. We had to figure this shit out the hard way. Run into all kinds of walls. Be homeless. Be hearing shit. Be on medication. Because we didn't want to listen. We didn't want to face the truth. But this is the truth. This shit ain't diamonds and gold. It ain't all what it's cracked up to be. It's ugly, dirty, and nasty because that's how you get. If you think you look good when you're all smoked out, you're not. You're not looking good. You're dirty, you're nasty, and you're ugly. It's just being honest. If you don't want to listen, this is what you will encounter when you're on drugs. You will encounter every fucking thing that you don't want to encounter while you're on drugs. So let's get into step 3. Step 3 is for those who are willing to accept God in their life. And this is what it says about step 3. Took some of the material out of the book. Some key points. And I'm going to read them to you. Our will and our lives were controlled by drugs. Yes, they were. They were controlled by drugs. We were trapped by our need for instant gratification that the drug gave us. instant gratification. You felt good when you were high. You didn't need no one's opinion. You didn't care about no one's opinion. As long as you were high. For a time, it was pleasurable. Then the utopia began to wear off, and we saw the ugly side of addiction. That's what it is. Ugly. It's not beautiful. That shit is ugly. That shit will ruin you. Look at all these rappers and movie stars that gotta go to rehab. They got ruined by drugs, but they're not gonna tell you that. And if they did tell you, you probably won't listen, because you're still in your addiction. We found that the higher our drugs took us, the lower they brought us. We faced two choices: either suffer the pain of withdrawal or take more drugs. I suffered a lot. I suffered a lot. And drugs, they made me suffer. I put myself through that. The withdrawals, the taking more drugs, that shit don't do nothing. It doesn't do shit. For all of us, the day came when there was no longer a choice. We didn't have the religious anyone can take this step. We don't have to be religious to take step 3. I put my trust and faith in God to help me combat my disease. And He does. He helps me because I submitted to Him. Every day I get up and I do a video because I want to help somebody who's an addict. Not just an addict before you fuck up your life. That's what I'm here for. Like my videos, watch them, learn something. I think I speak clear enough for you to understand that if you do drugs, it's gonna fuck up your life. Ain't no one gonna tell you what I'm telling you. You just gotta sit down and listen. All that is required is willingness. All that is essential is that we open the door to the power greater than ourselves. Be willing to put that drug down. Be willing to go to AA, CA, or NA. Be willing to turn your life over to God. Because if you don't, you're going to have a rough time. And don't get it twisted. Because you follow God doesn't mean you're going to be perfect. It just things are going to be easier. That's what we fail to realize. We think because we follow God or we have God in our life, things are going to get better. It's not. It's just going to be easier. You still got to go through something to get somewhere. So do that and put them drugs down. I made a decision to not do drugs, to be at home at a certain time, to go to my meetings, to take my meds. I made a decision to be clean. That's the best decision I made. It was not made for us by the drugs, our family, probation officer, judge, therapist, or a doctor. We made it. I made it. I made that decision. And I'm living with it. So if you make a decision to pick up your next sack, you gotta live with the consequences. The consequences I have these days are not compared to the consequences I would have if I was getting high. I ain't gotta rob nobody. I ain't gotta connive anybody to get a sack. I do chores around the house so I can get money. And then I save my money. I don't go to the dope man. I got clothes, I got cologne, I got shoes, all because I save my money and I don't give it to the dope man so he can go and buy cologne and shoes and cars and take his family out to dinner. I don't do that shit no more. I'm at home at a certain time. I celebrate with my family now. I do what I'm supposed to do because I'm not high. And you can do the same thing. I'm going to read decision to you. The word decision implies action. I take an action every day I wake up to make a decision about getting high. It's an action that I do. The action is for me to go where I'm supposed to go and be where I'm supposed to be at a certain time every day. That's my action. My decision is not to go to the spot, to the trap, to be out there in the world doing what I'm not supposed to do. I do everything that I'm supposed to do because I made a decision. The decision is based on faith. My faith is up here. I believe in God so much that we have conversations about He does things for me that I can't even imagine. He opens doors that I can't even imagine. He closes doors. Sometimes He closes the doors that I don't want Him to close, but He closes them. But He opens another one for me. We have only to believe that the miracle that we see working in our lives of clean addicts can happen to any addict with the desire to change. You may not think this shit works, but it works. It's my desire to change. And I am. I'm changing for the better. You can change for the worse. You could be homeless. You could be hearing voices. You could be yelling at cars when they pass by. You could be doing all kinds of shit, but I'm doing different shit. No one thought in a million years that I'd be on this YouTube channel trying to help somebody. I can barely help myself. So how can I help you? But I can do it now because I made a desire to change. Step 3 is another good step, and it's powerful. You just gotta work it and practice. The relief of letting go and letting God helps us develop a life that's worth living. Letting go and letting God. Let God do His thing in your life. Let Him do His thing. Surrender to Him. And let Him be in control of the car. Take the wheel. Let Him take the wheel. And watch. You may go through some things that is uncomfortable for you, but you'll make it. Surrendering to the will of a higher power gets easier with daily practice. Daily practice. That's what it's all about. I practice every day for God to take the will of my life and let Him control whatever needs to be controlled, and He does it. And all I had to do was ask for help. I told Him I couldn't do this no more. I didn't want to be high no more. I want my family back. I'm tired of hearing voices. Tired of not taking showers. Tired of fucking my breath smelling like shit. My lips were all fucking white from sucking on the pipe. All that shit. That shit's embarrassing. You gotta be tired of getting high for what? It didn't profit me nothing. I wasn't doing shit. I was in and out of prison. Lost my friends, lost my family. I had to let God do His thing in my life. And this is what He did. This is what He did. He put me on YouTube so I can help you. But my story should be powerful enough. I'm a recovering addict. I'm trying to help you so you don't go down the same road I went down. And you might not survive. Even with God in your life, if you continue to do drugs, you might not survive. I'm lucky. I'm fucking lucky as fuck that I survived every encounter with the bad shit. You might not be so lucky. Subscribe and like. Baseboard Inc. Thank you. Have a blessed day.